A good microphone is one of the best investments you can make in order to improve your videos, and I've used this one for almost all of the videos in this channel so far. This is the BOYA by-M1 shotgun mic, which I actually did an in-depth test and review about 3 months ago on this channel, so you might want to check that out if you're interested as well. However, today, we're going to be talking about a different microphone from BOYA. This is the BOYA by-M1 Lavalier Microphone, an omnidirectional mic designed to be used with smartphones, cameras, and other recording devices. It comes with an instruction manual, a warranty card, the omnidirectional mic connected to a power pack which houses one LR44 battery, which also allows you to turn the mic on and off. That power pack is then connected to a 3.5mm TRR S-jack via a long cable which, when stretched out, totals to about 6 meters. You also get a clip to hold the mic onto, a wind foam to put on top of that mic, a 3.5mm to 6.3mm adapter which allows you to connect it to certain recorders or amplifiers, and finally, a small pouch to keep everything together. Like I've said, I've always used this shotgun microphone for all of the videos in this channel. Sometimes it's mounted directly on top of the camera or on a boom pole that sits right above the frame here. But I've actually purchased the BOYA by-M1 Lav mic together with this microphone, which means I've owned it for almost a year now as well. But to be honest, I never really used it. And it wasn't until I was doing last week's video, the 1080p versus 4K episode, that I decided to give this microphone a try. And I gotta say, I got really surprised and I kind of feel bad for not having done so earlier. So I decided to make this video to do even more tests on this microphone so that people like you who are interested in checking this microphone out or buying this microphone can kind of get a feel for it, see how it performs, hear how it sounds like, so that you can make a better, more informed decision in the process. Mic test, 1, 2, 3. So currently we're here in our unit and we're doing a microphone test using just the onboard microphone of the Sony a6400, which is mounted around 2.5 meters in front of me. And my wife and my baby are inside this room just beside me. They're playing, so you might be able to hear them. There's traffic going on outside and you might be able to hear that too just using this microphone. I'm also guessing that the ambient noise inside the room, the camera might be able to pick that up as well, because currently the audio gain is set at around 25, so it's pretty high. So we're trying to do that so we can get a recording level of around -12 dB. Now, the reason I'm standing 2 meters away from the camera is because I'm using a 35mm lens, which on a full frame sensor is an equivalent of 52.5mm. So if I'm doing this so I can fit myself better into the frame here. Again, this is the mic test for the onboard microphone. So this time we have the BOYA by-M1 Lav mic clipped onto my shirt and connected directly onto the camera. And I don't know if you can see that, but it's right here. And the camera's audio gain is now set to about 5 from 25 a while ago. Now it's about 5, so it achieves a recording level of around -12 dB. Traffic is still going on behind me, but I'm sure cars will, I don't think right now there is, but cars will continuously pass by, like ambulances, police cars and whatnot. So hopefully they do, so we try and we get to see a glimpse of how well this microphone blocks or picks up that noise. My wife and my kid are still inside the room, but they're a little bit quiet right now. And alright, so this time we're still using the BOYA by-M1 Lav mic, and it's still connected directly onto the camera. There's still no post-processing, but this time I clipped this microphone inside the lining of my shirt around this area, so it's a little bit hidden, so there's a bit of magic and mystery to it. Because personally, when I watch a video of a person who's talking and the lav mic is just clipped outside of their shirt, or it's just plainly visible, it's a bit distracting to me. So you might want to hide your microphone, and there are lav mics that do that very well. I know of, I think Rode has something like that. But with this microphone, I wanted to do a test to see how well it performs if we do that. I want to see if it's going to pick up a lot of rustle of the clothing when you're moving like this, which we'll have to see which I'll have to see later on when I watch this video. So here are my few key takeaways from the first test videos. First, the audio from the lav mic sounds so much better than just the onboard microphone, which theoretically means it will sound better than the built-in microphone of your smartphones as well. Next, there was little to no difference at all in terms of clarity and volume between mic test 2 and mic test 3, which are the tests where the microphone was just pinned outside my shirt versus the one when I pinned it inside my shirt. My third takeaway is that there's a definite decrease in ambient noise when the microphone was on. Even though you can still hear the traffic outside, the difference was very noticeable, and with a bit of post-processing, I'm sure you can make it sound even better. So to make this microphone test even more interesting and more useful, I decided to do a few more things. Another thing that I wanted to do is test the onboard microphone of this camera while stepping away like this. Mic test 1 2 3, mic test 1 2 3, and I'm moving towards the camera, nearing it, moving right, moving left, just testing out the microphone, the difference in volume. And again, the next thing we're gonna do is we are going to plug in the BOYA by-M1 Lavalier mic into the camera straight, and we're gonna see how that sounds like doing the same things we just did right now. I'm moving backwards to have more of the background fill this frame, and I'm moving my arms to see if some sort of movement will produce any noise on the microphone. And I'm moving to the left, and I'm moving to the right, and just going back to the center, and just moving my arms, just generating a little bit of movement as I would normally. And we're trying to see if the microphone will pick up the rustle on the clothing or something like that. So again, just moving, background noise, traffic noise. So that's that. This is the BOYA by-M1 Lavalier mic test connected directly onto the Sony a6400. Moving backward, and we're trying to talk naturally to the camera, just moving around the shot, moving to the right, and we see something here, moving to the left, and I'm trying to pick up something here. So there's a lot of movement, and I feel the microphone moving inside my shirt, and it might be making that rustling noise. Or I'm gonna do the frame thing again. So I'm raising my hands here. So we're trying to see again, we're trying to see the pickup of this microphone. Is it a little bit I'm not sure, but I'm gonna see if it's a little bit less louder than when it was just outside, and now that's inside my shirt. Is my voice gonna be muffled? We'll see that later on. I have to give it a listen when I edit this video clip. Based on the movement test, the advantage of using a lav mic versus one that's on a fixed location is apparent. Since the lav mic is always on you, even when you're moving around, your audio doesn't really suffer, which is great. Another thing I noticed is that judging by mic test 2 and 3, I didn't really hear the microphone picking up any noise from my movement. However, when I compare it to a video that I shot as a backup for mic test 3, I did notice that that video started to pick up more noise from the scratching and rustling of my clothing. I'm gonna do the frame thing again. So I'm raising my hands here. We're gonna do the frame thing. We're just testing it out. We're trying to see the limits of this microphone. This brings me to the conclusion that you can get away with clear audio even though the microphone is clipped inside your shirt, but just being careful about its placement, which means you'll have to run some tests after clipping it inside your shirt to try and see if you'll need to readjust as necessary. Speaking of advantages, let's talk about some pros and cons here. I think the best thing about this microphone is its price. When I bought this during the Lazada sale, I was able to get it for 450 pesos. And if you check online right now, it retails for around that to up to 600 pesos in price range, which is about 8 to 12 USD depending on when and where you buy it. Another great thing is the audio quality. It's loud, clear, and effective in lessening the noise around you to a certain degree, which is what you're looking for in a microphone at the end of the day. The third thing I like about this mic is the cable. Some people hate it, but to me, especially since I'm always indoors anyway, the long cable allows me to experiment on my different lenses without having to worry about loss of audio quality. The sound is always going to be clear. Lastly is the ease of usage. I mean, you just plug it in and remember to switch it on if you're using it with a camera. There's no need to set up a boom pole or a light stand, or you don't need to worry if the microphone is seen dangling on top of the frame. When it comes to editing, it's a little bit easier to work with since
You're recording directly onto your camera, there's no need to match your audio with your video later on. Now, as great as this mic seems, there are a few things that I kind of don't really like about it. The first being that it needs battery. Unlike the BOYA by-M1 shotgun mic, where you literally just need to plug it in and use it, this microphone will need battery power if you're going to use it directly onto your camera, which means you might forget to turn it on before using it. The second one being that there's no way to tell if you've already run out of battery. Of course, I understand that this is a very cheap microphone, so you can't really expect more from it, so it's not really too much of a big deal. The third thing that I fuss over it is the fact that it uses a non-standard battery. It's using an LR44 battery, which you can buy online, and I did find a few sellers who sell it for relatively cheap, but it would have been nice to see if this microphone used a more common type of battery like a AA or a AAA, which you can buy almost anywhere. Another thing you need to watch out for is the possibility of the microphone to pick up the noise or the sound of the scratching or rustling of your clothes against it. Moving around or moving your arms suddenly may cause the microphone to accidentally brush against your clothing, which will cause an unpleasant noise in your recording. Lastly, and it might seem trivial, but the quality of the clip that comes with the mic has a tendency of breaking easily. I broke mine without realizing it, so I had to resort in a more creative means of attaching the mic with the use of a twist tie. Overall though, if you ask me if this mic is worth it, I definitely recommend it. It's cheap and it sounds great, and the cons are easily addressable by just stocking up on extra sets of batteries as well as the lavalier mic clips, and doing a few microphone tests before actually starting to shoot, which you're supposed to do anyway regardless of the mic that you're using. So give this mic a try, it doesn't break the bank and it really improves the quality of the audio in your videos. My name is Justin Espeo, and if you have any questions about this microphone, then please let me know in the comments section down below. And if you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button, consider subscribing if you haven't already, and as always, thanks for watching.